What's up? What's up?
Yo,
How have you been
I'm fine, I guess.
since TI? A lot of stuff has happened. Do you guys are you guys still motivated?
Oh well, I guess. I mean, we love the game, so we're always kind of motivated.
What are your thoughts on the patch? I'm sure you get asked this a lot, but
Oh well, to be honest, we haven't really played much this patch. In fact, we haven't even practiced at all. So I can't really say what I dislike or what I like. So I'm kind of neutral about it.
and you guys came in second again. We didn't do an interview after we did it before, and you said, me and Funnick, we have all this pressure on us, and it seemed like coming in second was like at least justified your spot, on NAVi. Do you think it's just getting harder each year to place high?
Obviously, the competition gets harder every year. So I mean, every TI has been harder and harder for every team. First TI was pretty much a free run. I mean, most teams weren't really prepared to play Dota 2, and it was very shaky. Second TI, we had the Chinese team coming very strong, and there was only one European team who could even come close to them. That was NAVi. And this TI, we actually had three European teams in the top 8 and one American team that was Liquid. So I personally think everybody agrees on that. Every year it just gets harder and harder to win or achieve anything. So yeah.
But you said you don't practice much on the patch, but you must like it. You get some more gold for supports, right?
I don't care. I just want to win.
You get a little bit more fun. You get a little more items.
Yeah, well, I guess, but I mean, we have seen all this Midas rush going on, but if you watch my games, I didn't do it at once yet, because I don't know what to think about it. I still have to figure out what the best ways are of playing this patch. So I really don't know. To be honest.
Obviously, it's to give you enough farm to get an Aghanims on Rubik. That's what you want.
Well, to be honest, Rubik this patch is very bad. I mean, we haven't really seen anyone use him either. Like, he gets picked very rarely. There's I mean, he got Aghanims, which is very cool, but it's not really meant for support Rubik. When I get it, then it means we already won the game. I just want to have some fun. But point is, they nerfed the first spell of Rubik, Telekinesis. They gave it 22 seconds cooldown now instead of 17 seconds. And that was a huge nerf actually to the Zero. The Zero was already kind of weak.
Really, that cooldown nerf was super
Well,
big.
let me explain you like this. Right now, the supports we see in the patch are heroes who can not only initiate like Rubik. Rubik can do one thing only in the game. He's good in team fights, and that's it. He's not good on lane. He has no spell to support his lane ability. I mean, he has one, not stun, but he has to pull, but he can't really harass because his stats are very bad. His nuke is very weak. It's high mana cost, low damage nuke, and it's always gonna push the lane. You can't really control the nuke. And compare it, for example, to Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden can go to woods if he wants to. Crystal Maiden always supports his team. Crystal Maiden can farm easily. I mean, one Frostbite is gonna kill any camp. Crystal Maiden is very strong on the lane. You can take any other support hero, like we see Windrunner, Wind Ranger being played as support, and same. She's strong on lane. She can do a lot of stuff. But Rubik can only do one thing. Again, he can only kill. He can't farm in woods. He, like I said, not the strongest on lane, and he needs a lot of items actually. So what they did is they even nerfed the only spell, which was very useful in ganking. Like when a gank starts, you put your first spell on the first hero Rubik initiates, right? He's gonna put this first spell on the hero, and I mean, come on, it's like you can do it once now. They're gonna start deeping in, and there's gonna be a second fight, and you don't have any spells. You have only the nuke and spells here. Not good.
It's so sad. Your signature hero.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's my signature hero.
It
I don't-
is.
I don't care, I just play.
Which support do you like playing the most these days?
These days, I like to play Wind Ranger.
Wind Ranger.
Yeah, I like Wind Ranger because, like I said, I can do a lot of stuff.
And you're useful late game.
Yeah, exactly. I'm useful late game. I'm useful mid game. I can get items for my team. I can get mech. I'm very strong on lane.
And you can just throw the shackle, and when you get lucky, sometimes it looks like you're fucking genius.
Exactly. I mean, you can change the whole outcome of the team fight with one shackle shot, pretty much.
Yeah. What a crazy I sometimes I still don't even understand that ability because like sometimes it looks like it should 100% hit and it doesn't, and then sometimes it doesn't. It looks like it should not hit and it does.
Oh, it's true. It's in Dota 1. I mean, in Dota All Stars Warcraft 3, I really like the Zero. Like, because I had perfect control of the shackle shot, I had perfect control of every spell. But ever since the Zero has been in Dota 2, I never felt it. I was like, the Zero is random. I do the shackle shot. Sometimes it's like, it should have, like you said, it should have hit. Nothing happens. And sometimes I stay here and there's like one hero is here and one hero is here. I shoot it from here and boom, they get shackled. I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with that, you know. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I thought they fixed it, but they haven't really done anything. So
I think they have more important things to work on.
So. Just all these small mechanics, they all add up. They're all equally important. But well.
Okay, so MLG, Speed won. DK looked really strong, but Speed managed to beat them. Why do you think that happened?
Well, first of all, I think Speed Speed has this European flavor, which DK couldn't handle. I mean, they're a very surprising team. They pulled out the Bone Fletcher twice and won with it. And DK, I mean, you can't prepare against...
Link clinks too.
Yeah, it's true. But I think it didn't make the main difference. It was the hero itself. They couldn't really handle the hero. Obviously, they understand what Bone Fletcher is. I think they've played it themselves too, but the way Speed used it, they didn't really see it before, I guess. Like you said, Blink clinks adds to that. And well, Speed was very strong, like super strong team this tournament, no doubt about that. And I'm really happy for them to win.
I feel like they play like a lot of different teams play different heroes now. The patch really, I think it really brought that out.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we're still all trying to figure out what's the best. We still don't know. We're probably gonna know in 2 or 3 months. But coming to MLG, it's like every team has its very own style. It was very obvious. Every team played very differently than other teams. But well,
like you have teams picking Invoker, you have teams picking Potom.
Yeah.
You know, teams just doing completely different things.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, like DK was very prepared to this tournament. They changed their styles constantly during the games, and since Speed played them last, they had the advantage to prepare them the most. Like, because DK was, for everyone, DK was the winner already when this tournament started, pretty much. But I mean, I think another reason for Speed's success was that I think DK was really drained out after our games. Because
the crazy rapier game.
Well, it's like, yeah, this game was very long already, and when they play us, I know that they don't want to play us at all, and they were mentally drained out completely. Like I think every pro gamer could have seen the difference DK playing us and then playing Speed. They were tired. They were tired as fuck. But
so you could say Speed owes you some of the money, right?
No.
They helped you helped them out a little bit.
No way. I don't want to take any credits away from Speed. Totally deserved it. Either way.
You guys are your style's a little different again in those games against DK. It seemed, like people watch NAVi and they expect a certain kind of style from you guys. Like these crazy like dive towers, lots of kills, lots of fights, and then you get to like you're playing DK and it's just a lot of farming. Is that a conscious choice you guys made, or what is it?
Oh well, it's pretty much like this. I mean, we don't really have a style to begin with. We play very chaotic, that's obvious. But the point is, when we played DK, we always played from behind, because they always won us from the very beginning. They had better lanes, they had better draft, just better control over the game. And when you play from behind, what you do is farm. I mean, when you play from behind, the first thing we actually always like to do is, against all teams, is we try to create chaos. And we want to like do some surprise ganks, and we always try that. But DK didn't give us any chance. Like they rushed 2 items. I mean, they rushed 3 items. It's Midas, Force Stuff, and BKB. The Midas means they can just chill and just farm up anyway. Force Stuff means any gank we try to attempt, the moment they see us on the map, they're gonna start TPing and be there with all the heroes. When I play Bane and I wanna ulti one guy, he's gonna Force Stuff him out. When Phonic plays Clock, he's gonna hook one guy, Force Stuff out immediately. No chance to gank them. And then they get their BKBs, and I mean, that means we can't take the fight anymore. We have to farm up and get some Divine Rapiers. So yeah, it's pretty much explained by playing from behind, and they didn't give us any chance to create chaos.
We heard some of your team chat get some very animated discussions in the game. Is it typically like that? How would you describe your team chat?
Oh well, I don't know. I think this event we didn't really had good communication, like we always do, and well, I don't know what to say, to be honest. It's usually we talk much more, but this event I think we didn't feel very comfortable playing MLG, so yeah.
Do you think there's some kind of fatigue? I mean, in terms of like you guys in Alliance just playing constantly, like always have to play the same teams over and over, and I really feel like being in the finals so many years in a row, doesn't it make all these other events seem kind of just whatever?
Oh, definitely. I think people generally underestimate how even one official game drains you out mentally. I mean, if a team plays 3 games in a row, for example, every game, even though it doesn't look like this, the team plays worse. Maybe second game it looks like, wow, this team is playing better and totally stomped the other team. But the truth is, every game you play a little bit worse. It's small details, like you creep block a little bit worse, and you forget small mechanics in the game which you usually use, because it's very stressful to play the game. We have to use 100% of our brain power pretty much, and it keeps draining you out. And Alliance has been on the road, like they've been to Korea, then they went to MLG. Obviously they're already very tired. We've been in Tech Labs Russia before, then we had a very horrible trip to MLG. It was a 30 hours trip, so I think we weren't in our best condition, but I don't think it mattered anyway. So I mean, we should have lost, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, like, do you think some teams just have better stamina than others? Because that's speed gaming. Like every single one of their games goes late. They get Midases on multiple heroes. They're playing Clinks, and they're playing these heroes that like go super late in the game, and every single game's like that. Mentally, do you think they're just used to that, or what?
No, I think they were mentally better prepared, and that's like one of the most important reasons in order to win a tournament. I think they were just ready to win. They were the winners of this tournament, even though people thought it's DK, and DK was actually also a winner in my opinion, but Speed was just better. This tournament goes to Speed.
Seems like a pretty hard thing to do when you're playing like 8 games in one day sometimes. Not 8, but like 5 or 6 spaced out over 8 hours.
Yeah.
Fluff said that Speed practices the most out of any team he knows. Like in terms of scrims, maybe that helped a little bit. Their stamina, they're able to just play.
It helps a lot actually. The 2 teams that met in the final, Speed and DK, were also the 2 teams that practiced the most, definitely. And the third team, Sigma Int, practiced a lot too. So they're the top 3 of your MLG.
And Sigma, what do you think about those guys? They kind of surprised everyone. No one ever thought that they would do that well, but they managed to do quite well. Why do you think that is?
Oh, well, I'm not surprised, since I'm in contact with the German guys of Sigma, Vater and Pass. I'm very proud of them. I mean, I was enjoying it, because the semifinals, the top 4 teams, there were 3 Germans, including me. So I was just happy about it. I mean, they had a style which most teams didn't really understand. Like, they got their Vipers and Abaddons, and they didn't really care. They first pick Abaddon, and people are like, why do you pick this hero? Like, nobody touches him, right? Or Train Protector, but they just go with it and they just win games. Similar, like Speed picks Bone Fletcher, they don't care. They just win games.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Make the other team kind of react to you rather than try and worry about what they're
Not
doing.
necessarily. It's more like this. I do what I want, and I know I'm good at this. And if you want to stop me, come and try. Most of the time, you have like one chance. That's best of 1. That was the first group stage of MLG. One chance means one mistake, game over.
Do you think the Chinese are gonna come more prepared for TI4? Because they didn't have a very good showing TI3. I mean, I think almost all the Chinese fans were disappointed at how it turned out. Top 3 no Chinese teams, and it was just kind of like they were unprepared, especially in the group stage. Didn't seem like they were really ready for it.
Oh well, I personally think their show in TI3 was really good. I mean, of course they didn't get top 3, and the mentality of a competitor is either you go top 3 or even top 1, or I'm not worth anything.
Well, I mean, compared to last time, like TI2, it seemed like they were just dominant.
It's true, but well, this year, as I've been told and as I've been and seeing they had so much problems with in their country with playing any games at all because of Ace. They had so much problems playing any leagues or tournaments, and we had the advantage. We Europeans and Americans, we constantly played leagues, and that's constant training pretty much. So it's like this. You see LGD in China right now, and do you really think they enjoy their time? They play maybe one game a week, and then they just practice. And I can tell you, people don't really enjoy practice. Practice is work. This game is work at this point. But if you play for something, even if you play just a group stage game in some random online tournament, you play for something. It's fun. But just playing practice means, well, you know.
It's like nothing you do matters. Yeah.
I mean, in the long run, it's like you think, okay, it's gonna matter for my team because we're gonna like be more prepared. But I mean, people always seek for getting satisfied, you know, instant satisfaction, or whatever you want to call it. And it's like you practice and you don't really see it. Like, okay, did we get better? Like, let's say you practice A versus B and A just stomps B. And what is Team A going to think? Like, are they going to think like, yeah, we're better now? No. They're going to think like, well, that was easy. Let's search for another opponent or whatever. So, well, as I said, TI3, sorry. The Chinese teams didn't really have a chance to test their strength up to TI. They only had the G League and G1 League were the both biggest tournaments, I think. That's too little. We had so many tournaments. We had many star ladders. G League was G1 League Alliance went there too, and Liquid. I mean, for example, Liquid goes to G1 League, and I think they got last place.
Yeah, I think they were either last or tied for second to last. They got one win. It was against IG.
Exactly. At this moment, they gonna think, or people gonna think, well, Liquid sucks, right? Like, what the fuck? But fuck that. They went there, they got experience, they went to TI and got 8th place, which is a huge achievement, actually. In Dota, it's a huge achievement. So this experience they made in G1 League helped them so much to go this far in international. What experience did Chinese make? No experience at all. They went to, they played Alliance and they played us in Alienware Cup. They saw these teams are strong, but that's it. Like, they just had one chance to play us, they lost us, but they didn't really gain anything.
Yeah, I feel like they, especially like the Chinese seem like very good at preparing things. They're very good at farming. They're very good at mechanics. But like your NAVi style especially seems to kind of like really like mess with how they do things.
To be honest, I mean, to add to what I said is, actually they gained something. They gained some insight into Alliance and NAVi. Because what I thought is, if Alliance wouldn't have went to G1 League and if we wouldn't have went to the Alienware Cup, I think Chinese would have placed last in TI. I don't think they would have done anything because there was a little wake-up call for them. So there's that.
Well, it still happened the way it did, and I think they'll be ready for TI4. I really feel like if it comes down to a TI4,
definitely.
Definitely. They're gonna approach it completely. Like DK approached this tournament much differently than how they approach other tournaments. They said, we came to this tournament to learn. We want to learn how these European teams play, and we want to, it's not about winning, it's about practicing and learning. And I don't think they would have said that if it was this time last year. This time last year, it's like, we came here to win, Chinese best Dota on the planet. We're here to just dominate, But the mentality really has changed. So, you guys have a match soon. You're playing against Liquid. I don't want to keep you too long, so let's.
No, it's fine. I think I still got a lot of time.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm gonna ask you some questions. What do you do outside of Dota these days?
Well, I study, so there's that.
I might have asked you this before, but what do you study again?
I study psychology now. I changed my major, so.
In psychology.
Yes.
What you gonna get a real job after being a Dota pro?
I don't care. The fact is, I mean, how secure is any job in your opinion? Nothing is secure in this life.
Well, psychology, any kind of professor academic job is pretty secure if you get tenure.
That's true, but people always like to think what's gonna happen in 10 years or how's my job in 5 years and stuff like this. But I mean, there's no point. We don't even know what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow, everything might be upside down already. We don't know. I mean, we only know what's happening right now.
I guess that's a good way of justifying.
I mean, of course, it's smart to plan out your future and you can potentially see what's going to happen in the future. There's a lot of truth in that, but realistically, anything can happen and anything can change. And
I mean, while that's true, I really feel like, gaming-wise, obviously it's very good being on these top teams. Like it's just like a dream job almost. You're doing what you love. You're very good at it. But what advice would you give to people that, you know, aspiring Dota professional that maybe is not, you know, not even close to being onto like a team that could qualify for TI?
Don't become pro gamer. Honestly, it's not financially it's not worth it, not at all. There's two teams in Europe that can afford playing. That's Alliance and NAVi, and the money I make with NAVi is not enough for my living standards. I come from Germany, so it's not much money. And then it's just not worth it. I mean, for the Ukrainians, it's worth it. You see Alliance, for them it's worth it. They want TI, but I mean, you have your own team, TeamLiquid. You know, these guys can't afford really living playing this game, and they're actually a top team. So, but in all honesty, I mean, in the end, you gotta do what you love. If you think, okay, I can afford this, I can, even if I don't get paid well, and I just want to do this because I love it. I love this game. For example, pro gaming, I love this game, and you know, it's a very risky step. But the truth is, I mean, if you don't take risky steps in your life will be boring.
Well, I mean, how can you tell whether you're good enough? What advice would you give some? Because a lot of people, like, especially in Dota, there seems to be a lot of people that could be good enough to be on the team. There's just so few openings and opportunities to do that, you know? How can you self-evaluate your skill properly?
Oh, well, I mean, obviously results always speak for itself. That means if you have good results, it means you're good. But I don't necessarily agree that there are barely any openings to become good. In fact, there's a lot of openings. I've seen a lot of open tournaments going on, and any team can join them. And honestly, if you're good, people will always notice you. There's no chance that people won't see what you're doing. If people think, oh, I'm good and I don't get noticed, it's bullshit. People always see everything. And there's constantly roster changes. Every year you see roster changes. Who's EGM? Winner of TI3. I ask you today, 1 year ago, who's EGM?
Yeah.
Stuff like, who's Bulldog? Who's S4? Who are these guys? Ake? Oh, yeah. Some old schoolers, you know, they know him. So, okay, Loda has been pretty much known, to be fair. But that's one dude.
When Alliance first formed as No Tidehunter, there were so many comments, like, Loda never will win anything.
Yeah. I mean, but you see, people are always wrong. Only you yourself can be right at something if you prove it. I mean, like you said before, like when Funnick and I joined, like I said back then, people said, "What the fuck? This team won't do anything." No, we win every tournament pretty much. I mean, of course, we also lose a lot, but we won so much with NAVi now. I think this current roster has been more successful than the old one, excluding TI1 maybe. So yeah, you have to prove everyone. You have to prove yourself, and if you prove yourself, then everything is natural.
So you feel like since you guys aren't practicing much these days, ramp up for the future tournaments or what?
Well, I mean, I don't know. If I ask you, what do you think? Ever since TI3 ended, how many hours of practice does NAVi have?
I'm not gonna ask you because it's gonna be. I don't wanna.
Just say a number. Let's be realistic. Ever since TI3, it's been 3 months now, 2 months, 2.5.
You know, asking me this question gives me some information on.
Just answer the question.
100.
100. Okay. You wanna know?
Yeah. 3.
3 hours.
3 hours of scrims.
3 games.
Wow. Okay. But you have been playing a lot of tournaments, so it is
true.
It's,
that is practice. It's true.
Yeah.
But it's like
scrims are the best kind of practice. Scrims are much worse quality-wise than
quality. The playing tournaments is the better practice overall. That's true. But playing scrims is like this: 1 week you take time off and you get your team together, and you try to figure out everything about the game. And then you're gonna write down your heroes and say, this is good and this is what we want. This is how we should roll. And then you come back after 1 week, and you're gonna be a different team already. And yeah, we will do that after New Year's, but for now it's been really hard. It's been hard for many teams to put time into practice since there are so many tournaments. I mean, right now like 2 teams in this tournament, Alliance and NAVi, are on the 3rd LAN event in a row with no gaming, just traveling and playing a tournament. So, I mean, Fnatic has been to Korea too before that, and Liquid as well. So they all understand like what it is. Like you can't really practice much, and speed gaming, they sit at home and they can practice. They have the freedom of practicing all the time. It's awesome for them, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good luck. I hope you guys can show some chaotic games in the future. Everyone loves watching that kind of thing. Do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Well, shout outs to my team, to my sponsors. Shout out to everyone watching this. Thank you for following us, and thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. It's always a pleasure.